Only Jim from Ireland, please.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
All right, Jim.
Good, good, good. Steve, I suppose when you took over in Nottingham Forest, and obviously you set initial targets and early objectives, but to come into the new year, possibly, and if a result goes your way in terms of this weekend, to finish the year inside in the top 10, is that really objective one achieved? And then really, do you have to redraw then your objectives then for the second half of the season?
Um, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, Cole, Jim, sorry, the first objective when I took over was to get out of the relegation zone. And that was the first challenge that we set the players because that's where we were. And since then, we've just been trying to progress and to play well, to build all the stuff that the guys have just been talking about in terms of culture and whatever. And we're nowhere near where we want to be. Have we made some good positive steps? I think so. In some ways, a couple of steps back as well. No doubt about that. But we're just not so much focused on objectives and targets and where we are and where we want to be. It's more about like what makes us at our best every single day and what's the process in that. Because if you focus on that, then those other things in terms of league positions and all that, they just take care of themselves then. So focus on how we get today right, focus on how we improve, focus on leaving the training ground as a better team and as a better individual, and have the same approach into the following day. And if you do that, then as I keep saying, if your work's good and you have a bit of luck, then you have a good chance of achieving, and that's just what we're doing. But I don't like too much, we're only halfway through the season. I don't like talking about objectives and things like that. That's for me, they're for conversations at the end of the season.
And finally, for me, Steve, I asked Tony Mowbray this question there this morning. And it's a difficult sort of question I've been asking a few managers. Just relation, it's a different twist on the January transfer market. Obviously, the whole global situation, everyone has people have their own moral beliefs and moral issues. But when you're scouting and when you're looking at players to bring in, does the issue of players being vaccinated or unvaccinated, if players choose not to be vaccinated, does that really affect you in terms of transfer targets? Because maybe if you bring in a player that's unvaccinated, he can't change in the same dressing room, he can't eat in the same team dining room, he probably has to travel, make his own arrangements. So it probably becomes messy. So does that really affect you, or do you just judge the player on his ability?
Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, it's a slightly difficult one to answer just because we don't know if the restrictions are going to change in terms of the government, the restrictions are going to change or stay in terms of, what the Football League want us to adhere to. So I think we're still in that situation now where, excuse me, coughing. We're still in that situation now where we're dealing with this new variant and the impact that it's having, not just in football, but in society. And being led a little bit by about what the government are saying. And I think until we really have a consensus on it and the danger that is obviously dangerous, but how dangerous, then it's difficult really to have an opinion on that sort of stuff. I'm being vaccinated, as I said before, and I think that's right. But I also know that it's a personal choice, and I respect that as well.